Hello everybody, I am Fedora Gamer, and today we are looking at The Last Federation to answer the simple question, is it fun? Last Federation is recently released by Arcen Games, which is a developer I rather like. Their previous game, Bionic Dues, I enjoyed a great deal, and it did not get nearly as much attention as it deserved. It was a roguelike with mechs, and was pretty damn wonderful. If you haven't checked that game out, you really should. There's a video of it on my channel, but today we're looking at their very different grand strategy game that is definitely more accessible than most grand strategy games, The Last Federation. Let's go ahead and do an advanced start here so we can turn off the tutorial. Normal. Let's not start the Indiebox. Let's start with what race you crash land on is the first race you steal a ship from them, and that's what happens. And so you start out with some negative reputation with them. Let's start with the Skylaxians. They're easier to appease. You have the options for Iron Man, skip tutorial, permadeath, which is kind of crazy. And I might try that someday if I ever actually get good at this game. Let's go ahead and start here. This is you. You're a Hydral, a space Hydra. You are the last of your race. Your race was the first race in the solar system to become spacefaring, and then hoarded that ability by shooting down any attempts of the other races to try to get amongst the stars along with you. Your race was a nasty, horrible dictatorship controlling the solar system. They would allow satellites and probes to be launched, but anything manned they would shoot down instantly. You did not agree with this, and towards the end, you were going to actually go and give spacefaring technology to the other races against your race's will. While you were gone, your planet got destroyed. You are the last remainder of your race. We're just going to skip through all this here. You're the last remainder of your race. Basically, the other races didn't like your race because of the dictatorship nature of them. So, one race strapped a bunch of rockets to a moon and launched it at your race's planet. They made a moon into a massive missile, which is probably the most badass thing I've ever heard. So, now we are in combat mode. I have two ways of getting through this. I can destroy the two flagships, which my ship is much superior to theirs. We steal the race's best prototype flagship, and then put a lot of our own Hydral advanced technology on it, which is the most advanced technology in the solar system to begin with. So our ship pretty much destroys theirs, but then they're going to not like me much. I stole a ship from them to escape, and now I'm going to blow up some of their ships. So I do have this second option of docking with this survey platform and giving them some of the Hydral technology I have that will make them hate me less. So I'll still be a negative reputation with them, but they'll hate me less. I'm not going to go that route, because I want to show you the combat. The combat is the most interesting thing I've ever seen. I would describe it as real-time turn-based, which I know doesn't make any sense, but basically you plot out your course, how you're going to attack. You can leave auto-fire on your different weapons here, which I have minigun, energy blaster, and gravity lance, which I'll leave it on auto-fire for right now, and then commit that. And then it plays out for about 3 seconds, and then pauses again, and you plan out some more. So it's all plays out in real time. It's just like real time with a pause every 3 seconds. Let's, excuse me for that. Let's go ahead and start getting close to the enemy flagship here. And, oh yeah, I should see if this is the best weapon against them. No, right now, while their shields are up, it tells me right here in the bottom right that the best weapon against them is the energy blaster. So I'll just keep going this way. We'll switch to energy blaster and move on, which will wreck their shields. And we'll keep firing because the shields are still up. Now the shields are down, and my best weapon against them is Gravity Lance, the second best being Minigun. Gravity Lance is really good against a ship that has no shields, but it has a much smaller range than most other weapons. So we'll go switch to the Gravity Lance. Blast him away, blast him away. Now just keep auto-attacking and he'll be dead. quickly. There we go. You can also pick up the pilots and use them to sell off as slaves, or to barter their release, or just give them back to somebody for a little bit more positive influence, is what it's generally called. And he also had some mini ships come out of him. There is one more. I should switch to something else. There is one more flagship somewhere. Where is it hiding? Ah, there it is. We will go towards that. Now, there's more depth to the combat than just this, but let me go ahead and turn on the minigun again. Up here in the upper left, you have your power bars. These are weapons, shields, and engine. You can adjust these as you see fit. If you increase your engine, you can travel further per turn and faster. Decreasing it, you'll travel slower and you'll have less maneuverability. Shields, putting more into that means you'll regenerate more shields per turn. And I'm going to take all out of shields because we aren't taking any real damage. So you can see the shield and hull bar up here. And I'll put it into my movement and my weapons and go towards this flagship down here. We also have these special abilities. Disable gravity systems. Mercenary hotline. You can call in some mercenaries, but they'll, if you have other allies with you, the mercenaries are like hostile towards anyone. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. Operation Kamachi. Orbital Bomber. I've never actually used this one. Operation Zero. And Deployment Jammer. So this race's ship starts out with some abilities I'm not too big fan of, but let's go ahead and use the Operation Kamachi. You'll see what that does here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Takes your entire turn and you launch a bunch of mini probe ships. They're great at absorbing shots for you, and they do a little bit of damage for you. But you saw that burst effect around me. Every time you use a special ability, it puts off kind of an EMP effect that cancels out all bullets within its range for that amount of time. So if you're getting pounded down, you might actually want to use abilities just to clear out the bullets for a moment. Let's go ahead and try Operation Zero, which is all the operation ones give you some kind of ship support. Those seem about the same as the Operation Hamachi guys. What are they? That doesn't tell me now it's used. Let's go ahead and finish this guy off. Gravity Lance is the best weapon against him right now because he has no shields. Some ships don't have any shields just by default. And right now I'm just going to hit Q and not move whatsoever. And now the energy system up at the top is intelligent. If you do a no movement turn by hitting the Q button, it will automatically take most of the power out of your engines and put it into your weapons and your shields for that turn, which is pretty nice. This means less fiddling. And I will go ahead and actually target him, even though... Nope, no, he's dead. End combat, I lost some influence for attacking their ships, and I already had negative 100 influence because of stealing their ship to take off and start the game. So now we get to the solar map. This right here is the remainder of your planet that got destroyed. It can actually be occupied by other races as an outpost, flying near it kind of thing. This is the galaxy map. Right now, none of the other races except for the one that I've taken off from is spacefaring, which is why you see a lot less information around them. And all of them start with a little bit of negative influence. Basically, your goal is, what you want to do since your race is now gone, is to unite the solar system. You want them all to be spacefaring, and you want to unite them into a federation. One way or another. If they will not, you destroy them. Your goal is to have all living races in the solar system in a united federation. So, that goal can be achieved easily by just being with one, like a federation of one race and wiping out the other 7 if you want to. Now, none of it's easy. There is also an achievement for having completing the game with all races still alive and in the federation, which is freaking difficult. I have not been able to win at all in this game yet. Things just always go badly for me. Now, the interesting aspect of this game is that you have no planet. You have no planetary power. You are more or less just a mercenary going around influencing the different races to try to get the result that you want. And it's a lot of it's just kind of influencing numbers, like how much they like other races. You can spend time in improving the relations between the races to try to keep them from killing each other, even though some of the races are very warlike and are really difficult to keep them from continuously trying to wipe out other races. It is not easy. Let's see, where am I right now? I am here. Now I do want to get some faction up with them. Each race has a distinct personality that's very interesting, and they all govern in different ways. Let's skip through this here. Okay, I can do friendly acts right now to gain some faction with them. The red ones I cannot do for one reason or another. Like, technology is an extremely important thing. We'll talk about that in a minute here, but I can also go to their leadership here. And this is where I can, if I have some positive faction with them, I can actually, deal with the government and get them to do things. Right? This one is based on a council. This is how they are. So the other races all govern in a different manner that is very interesting. Some of them, credits you can use to influence them. Some of them don't even care about credits. Another one of them, the Thraxians, which wherever they are, that's the Burlesque. These are the very warlike race. Once they get spacebound, they usually start causing trouble. The Thraxians. Oh, I can't even look at that because they are not spacefaring yet. But Thraxians are kind of an insect race that are a hive mind. That what you can do with the government, which is the queen, it's based around her current mood swing, which change. So sometimes she'll have a mood swing where she's warlike and she's going to start attacking things no matter what you do, and you can't use any of the things that will allow you to try to keep her from attacking other races. Sometimes she'll have a mood swing based on building up infrastructure. So what options you have for interacting with her changes based on her mood swing, which makes her a very difficult planet to deal with half the time. Let's go back here. Let's look at friendly acts. Well, right now, none of the other races are spacefaring, so I will not be able to interact with them, and I might want to keep it that way, but up here we have some missions. Now, if you just go to a planet and decide to give them spacefaring technology, you always get a large boost of influence to that race. But if you do it that way, all other races that are not spacefaring will have a negative influence effect because they are jealous that you did not give them spacefaring technology. If you get one of these missions like this where it's a covert operation, the other races don't know you did it, so you don't lose that influence. What is this other one? And then sometimes they'll want terraforming specs. And if you ignore these quests, these calls for help from them, then you also lose influence, and they have a certain timeout period here. And I'm not seeing how long until it time's out, but let's go ahead and give this one. The funny thing with these ones is if you take any other jobs, any other quests at the time, these ones cancel out and you lose that faction. But if I were to take this this one first and do it first before this one, it will not cancel out this one. So that's always a thing to keep in mind. We will do this here, get 80 influence with the Andors, and if we ignore it or fail, we lose 15 influence. So we'll do this one because it doesn't actually give them terraform or a spacefaring technology yet, so we'll do that here. Now I just have to reach the drop zone for the delivery, which is right there. And this ship has no cloaking abilities like some of the other races' starting ships do, which is unfortunate. That makes this very easy. What do we have? Nothing that's very useful for this. I'm just gonna take all off of weapons and speed. Put it all on speed and shields and rush towards the deployment point. We won't take much damage off of this right now. It's an early mission, so. And completed. We can sit there and fight this stuff for bonus credits if we wanted to. Oh, I guess it did cancel the Icarians one. Oops, I didn't realize that. Oh well, I gained 80 influence with that race, so that race is up to a very good influence already, very quickly. Those events give you large boosts in influence. doing just friendly acts at the planets is actually a very slow and incremental increase in influence. So when those missions pop up, they can be quite valuable. Now let's talk about technology. We can look at the tech tree here. It shows what races have what tech. I have very little right now, but it also will show me what tech directly benefits my ship. The ones with these boxes here means it will actually directly benefit my ship by making it stronger in some fashion. All the other techs that don't have that box do not affect my ship directly, but having the technology means I can go and then give it to another race to make a race stronger if I want to, or just to increase my influence with them if I want to. So all technology is useful. Now to gain technology, you can steal it from races of your enemies if you want to, but a lot of the other races will then give a negative influence from you stealing from another race because they don't like thieves. Some races don't care, but about half the races do. Where am I? Where did I end up going? I don't know. I want to be here though. The other way to get technologies is to go to a race that you have some faction with that will actually allow you. See, I could gift them technology right now, and that would give me +3 influence with them, and I have a big hole to dig out with them, so I might want to start doing that. Let's see, research technology, which I don't have enough influence with them to actually do this, but you can spend time researching technology at a planet. They will gain that technology, and then you will gain a copy of it as well. Right now, it's very long, and you can't actually take a technology research that's more than 60. A few of them are short. This one probably because if the race already knows the technology, you can still research it there, and it will take 1/3 the normal time, but you don't gain any faction from for influence for researching at their planet for a technology they already know. It's basically just for you to gain that technology and to use it for other means. These are pretty long timers on any of these they don't know, and once you learn some of these science boosts, which affect you and them, you will start chopping down that number a lot. And you can also go to a black market and hire science goons that will speed up your science research speed. Let's go ahead and go to a planet I have good faction with just from doing that recent mission here. Oh, I can't because they're not spacefaring. Where are they anyway? You can see on the planet, you see a wealth of information. How many armadas are defending it, their total armada abstract strength, their effectiveness of soldiers on this planet, so the effectiveness of the ground troops, my current influence. This is their compatibility with their own planet. Some races are actually not very compatible with their own planet, which means their environment suffers. Population of the planet. And this is the economic status, the medical status, the environmental status, which is not that great right now, but I've seen it planets with more than -100, and public order. So right now they're all pretty middle ground. Who was it that I gained that influence with? Apparently I was way low with them. That's negative influence all over the place. Oh, right here. You know what? Let's give them spacefaring technology. You'll see the Skylaxians will not like it because they would like being the only race there. I don't really want to do that because I'm trying to improve my standing with the Skylaxians. So let's go back here and do some friendly acts. And let's see what gives me a decent amount of influence per month. Armada construction usually gives you a good bit. Rest of these is not very good. Well, let's give them some technology here. +3 influence, +3 influence. So I am only -96 now. It is quite a hole to dig out of after you steal the ship from the starting race you start at. Let's assist with the Armata construction for 20 space months. And then we can hit this fast forward button when we're doing these kind of things.
The Arcens are now spacefaring. Searching dictionary for a phrase more urgent than extreme danger. Done. Imminent doom is today's advisory.
That's the AI, which is quite entertaining. You'll get messages like that whenever massive, large events happen, like another race becoming spacefaring, a race being wiped out, a planet being taken over by a different race than its standard owner. And the Thraxians, see, you can give spacefaring technology to the races, but they will also develop it themselves over time. And the Thraxians were very quick about it. That's bad. The Thraxians generally tend to, like, attack everything. This is the queen. Let's see what her mood swing is. She's brooding. So I can't do anything because I have a little bit of negative with them. But most likely, they'll start attacking other planets soon. So, yeah, you do kind of miss out your chance on that massive boost of influence by not giving them spacefaring technology, and they figure it out themselves. Let's see what... Nothing. I can gift her technology. Let's do that to try to get out of the negative. Oh, shoot. I get 6 influence per thing from technology here. That's useful. Now I am almost in the positive. They're easy to appease compared to other races. Yeah, like I get 0.03 influence per month. It might be a good race to start with because they're easier to re-appease. So let's go ahead and do this for 20 months.
The Accusation capitalists are now spacefaring. Extreme caution is advised. These are the same beings that destroyed your homeworld.
So we have another spacefaring race. As you see, they don't waste too much time getting into space themselves. The Acacians are a robot race of capitalists. They are completely amoral. It's all about business and money. That's all they care about. I really do like the different personalities these races have. And we don't really have any pirates or anything going on here. So I can't really show any more combat at this point because I have no pirate bases to attack or anything like that. I mean, I could go over to... Oh, let's piss them off. Let's go steal some technology here. Oh. Hostile axe. Yes, the capitalist. I know. Come on. Now I can attack local Marta, recruit informant, and damage relations. Now, to do a lot of different hostile acts, you only have some basic ones at first. You need an informant that is a citizen on the planet that's part of the criminal underworld that will feed you information for you to plan the more advanced hostile acts. Now, there are 2 races where you cannot ever recruit informants because they have no criminals for 2 very different reasons. The Thraxians are a hive mind. They all are of the same mind. So that's no criminals working against the other ones. And then, I don't remember the name of the race, but there's a race that's a robotic utopian race. Their entire planet's just a utopia. There is no crime whatsoever. So those 2 races, what you can do towards them is kind of reduced. Let's go ahead and hire an informant. And raid for technology. Let's see. Yeah, let's grab some of this. And as you see, several other races don't like you stealing. The Sarlaxians and Thraxians don't. And then you also have a increase of credits to get information out of the informant for each one of these you do. Let's go ahead and steal some technology. Now, for this mission, all I have to do is dock with the Orbital Science Station, which is clear out here. Yep, that's the Orbital Science Lab. So there's a lot of stuff between me and it. Some other orbital things they have that destroy and will actually give me a lot more negative influence with them because it will actually hurt the production and such of their planet. I don't really care for this ship. I like ships that start with cloaking. So I'm going to not attack that. Oh, I'm still set to the gravity lance. That's a bad idea. Just going to go work my way through here. Let's reset the power here so my weapons actually do something. And I need to use the energy blaster. We'll target this ship on the way by. Probably not going to go for a killing all the ships. I'm just going to get to the thing and dock with it. Just kind of shooting as I fly, you know, keep them busy. These are going to hit me a few times, but I still have plenty of shields left, so let's just turn on auto attack. Auto target here. Oh yes, this had to dock for a certain amount of turns with them, which taking large amounts of damage will actually reset some of those turns. So I'm going to sit here and go into turret mode. I'm going to remove all of my engines and go into weapon shields. And I'm going to throw out some little helper ships to help me clear out the riffraff. And let's kill these. What's the best against them? Energy blaster. So I'm going to Q to stay in place and target these guys and start with clearing them out a little bit here. And I have 2 turns left. None of the flagships are bothering me right now because my little drone ships are distracting them. So I will win right now. Yep, there we go. Stole some technology and lost quite a bit of influence with several races. So I do like that the influence always tells you before you do something what you're going to gain and lose. There's never any surprises on that. And this game is all about... I just love the high end of it, the top-down perspective, where it's about influencing these races that are a planetary power, and you're just a single ship flying around without any planetary power of your own, and you're just attempting to influence the races to do what you want, and then eventually join a federation. And once you start the federation up, things get more complex, because some anti-federation organizations will start forming and rally against your federation. So it gets very complicated. I mean, there's a lot of depth to it. There's a lot. It has the grand strategy side to it, but you can pick it up pretty easily. Over here, you see all the events, important events that have been happening in the galaxy here. They designed a new Model T class of ships. Model T class of ships. They're all studying. Basically, right now, most races are like hard cracking on studying technologies, because technology is a big factor in this game. And you can look at the race relations right here. The Arcarians I am kind of negative with. The Skylaxians I'm pretty negative with, and I have a very good influence with the Andors. And you can see their relations with each other. None of them seem to be messing with each other yet, because very few of them are spacefaring yet. You see the computer advisor give you advice on what things you need to do right now. Top suggested allies, top 3 powers outside the Federation. There is none right now. Or yeah, there is outside the Federation means there is no Federation yet. So military and science technology you are behind on. Things you probably should get your hands on to make your ship stronger. So that's very helpful. And then you have the race shoal. You can see their relative power. You can go to detailed intel and see more detailed inventory information on things like Armada graphs. You can get all that deep information the grand strategy nerds really love. I say nerds in a friendly way. I envy those guys because I'm not big into grand strategy. Also, you can customize your flagship, different weapons. I only start with the 3 and your different abilities, which this ship has a bunch of operation abilities. Which I should see if there's... Yeah, I'll put on Operation Raptor instead. And... yeah, I like that. Let's see what I can put on instead of the deployment gyro. Cloaking device, I want that. Offensive ability, I don't have any. I want a nuke or such special ability. And you can gain more special abilities and weapons. They're basically pieces of hydral technology you can find spread throughout the solar system from your destroyed world. You can buy some from the black market here, or planets once they get some outposts will detect some hydral things in asteroid belts. So you can go to outposts and get a mission to search a ice belt or an asteroid belt for hydral technology. You get more special abilities and weapons and the such. There's quite a few of them actually. So this is basically what it is. One thing I will say, I'll leave it till I just do my recap. Game's pretty great, but let's do the recap real quick. Thumbs up. It is a very interesting concept where it's a grand strategy where you aren't one of the big powers, you're just influencing them, and I kind of really like that. It's a very interesting take on it. Another thumbs up. Combat mode is kind of wonderful. The whole real-time turn-based, or pause-based, if you will, system is extremely fun. You can get very precise and dodge bullets very precisely. It gets kind of very bullet helly later on in the game. And for people that aren't big into the combat stuff of Grand Strategy, in a upcoming patch there will be an auto-resolve functionality. I do remember seeing the developers tweet about that. I don't know why you'd want to do that, because the combat is kind of wonderful, but that will be there for people that want it. What else? I really like the individual personalities of every race and their governing body and how they function. It varies quite a bit, and it makes it very interesting dealing with all the different races, especially if you're trying to keep them all friendly to everybody and keep them all alive to have one complete federation, which is probably the hardest achievement to complete in this game. And it might be impossible. Just saying. Impossible for me, at least. So, thumbs down. The only real complaint I have about this is UI scaling. I wish it had UI scaling. At 1080p, which I'm currently running at, which it's recording and downscaling to 720p because that's what I upload at. But the UI interface, the interface objects are kind of small. I mean, most of this I can see all right, but the text is rather small and hard to read. But if I change the game to 720p, the UI elements are bloody huge. Like, massive. This thing takes up a fourth of the screen. I can read everything just fine, but it takes up a ton of the screen real estate. I would like some UI scaling options. That would be great. I love UI scaling options in any game in general, so that's really the only complaint I have about this game. Final verdict, it is tons of fun. I have dumped probably about 20 hours in this game already. Should have made a video a week ago, but I couldn't quit playing the game. Difficult? Definitely. But a lot of fun. There's even an observer mode, and you can just not play and watch the other races do what they will do. The AI is kind of crazy in this game to watch as they develop their technology and attack other. The AI is great, and you can just watch the entire thing play out without your influence whatsoever if you want to in a observer mode. So AI is one of the strong points of this game, that's for sure. Get this game. It is on Steam. It's like, I think it's $20. It is definitely worth it. The link will be in the description. Arcen Games has hit it out of the park with this one. It is innovative, it is unique, and it is a lot of fun. I'm Fedora Gamer. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.